Corkin here. I hope you're well.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm good. Well, I'm fine. How are you? And where are you injury-wise? Or I see it looks at the latest update there. So no update on Jordan Larmour. So how are you fixed, or where are you at this stage?
Yeah, good. Started back running there last week, and then I was sprinting a bit yesterday. So my hip flex is feeling really good. So I'm still a bit away, a few more weeks I'd say, but it's feeling really good. So hopefully just keep kicking on with the rehab now.
Can I ask you just about the importance of, I know that you're not going to be involved because of the injury scenario, but just the importance of Leinster and being involved in the kind of concluding stages of the season. We're in the final furlong, there's a bit to go yet in the United Rugby Championship and Europe. I mean, specifically the United Rugby Championship, how competitive have you found that with the introduction of the South African teams?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think, looking at their performances, they've been really, really good. A lot of big men on their team, and I think we have a trip coming up in a few weeks going down there, and I went down there my first season, I think, and we won a game, lost a game, so I know how tough it is, a place to go. But that tour would be really cool to get on, so that's kind of what I'm aiming for at the moment. But yeah, a lot of big men on their team. They're physical. They have a lot of quick backs. So I think they're playing really well at the moment. I'd really like to go on that tour as well.
And just a final question in relation to Ireland. And I mean, obviously you were looking on over the period of the Six Nations Championship, unfortunately, from your point of view. But with that tour coming up to New Zealand, how much of an added incentive is it that, there were going to be 5 games? It's going to be quite competitive, only just about 12 months out from a Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be a really cool tour to go on. Speaking to a few of the lads, they have been telling us how hard it is a place to go and win. So it's kind of in the back of my head at the moment. Like right now, I'm trying to focus on getting back playing. Getting my rehab under my belt, and then getting back playing for Leinster and playing well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of at the moment. But of course, that tour's in the back of the head, and I'd love to go on it. So I'm gonna do everything I can to try and make that happen.
Good man. Thanks, Jordan. It's good to see you.
Cheers, you too.
Hi, Jordan. Neil here.
Hiya.
To follow up on what you were saying there about obviously like concentrate on your rehab and getting yourself sorted over the next few weeks, do you have to park what other wingers are doing around the country or what other wingers are doing at Leinster? If you see someone playing particularly well on a given week, are you thinking, geez, I need to step things up? Or as you get more experience in your career, are you better at just kind of concentrating on yourself and not worrying about what others are doing?
I think it can be hard to do because you see what everyone else is doing, and you're just sitting on the sideline being like, oh, I wish I could be out there doing that. So yeah, that can be tough, but I think it is important just to not overthink about it too much, and focus on what you're trying to do. In the process, you need to stick to the process that's going to get you back to your playing. So whether that's my rehab, just trying to stay focused on that, and then picking up a few extra skills when I can, just to keep it sharp. And then when you get back playing, you got to take those opportunities. Because you see what other people are doing, and that might give you a bit of a kick up the arse for when you get back playing, and you want to show yourself, I can do that too. So there's probably a little bit that goes into it, yeah.
And then the other one for me, how did you feel you were playing prior to picking up the injury? Did you feel you were in a good place? Were you putting in good performances?
Yeah, I felt like I'd found a bit of form and I was playing well. I probably had a few bad performances at the start of the season, and then kind of was building into it, and I think I was playing better. So yeah, it's kind of just an annoying time to pick up an injury, but that's the way it goes. It is what it is. All I can do is just try to get back playing as quick as possible.
Lovely stuff. Good luck over the next few weeks.
Cheers, thank you.
Jordan, hi, I'm Paul from Virgin Media. How are you getting on?
Hi Paul, how are you?
Good, thanks. Just on your injury, do you expect to be back? Do you expect to miss then the 2 games against Connacht in Europe, Jordan, or what are you thinking?
We're not actually too sure at the moment. We're kind of just taking it week by week. Potentially at the moment I might be missing them, but if the hip flexor turns the corner quickly and I can get back sprinting top speed and change direction and stuff, there might be a small opportunity to. Probably at the moment it could be unlikely, but you know, we're kind of just taking it day by day, week by week, and seeing how it's reacting to the rehab, to getting back sprinting, and then that change of direction stuff. So potentially.
Okay. And just judging how Ireland went to the Six Nations, they're winning the Triple Crown, etc. Do you face a bit of a battle to get back in the side now, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of good players playing at the moment, and everyone's playing well, so the competition is high. But the one thing about competition is it gets the best out of you. So like, you could even see that in training. Everyone's training really hard. When we were in camp, and you know, a lot of lads were putting up their hands. So yeah, like, there is competition, a lot of lads playing well, but you know, you just got to stay focused on what you're trying to do, and you know, focus on your own game and try to get the best out of yourself.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Hey Jordan, how's it going?
How are you?
Listen, yeah, just on your own form, I actually thought you were probably the form winger in Ireland heading into the Six Nations. I thought you were doing great for Leinster, like, having watched those games. Like, so you must have felt pretty confident going into camp as well. And how do you kind of handle it then in your own head when you're told you're playing backup for a while and stuff? How easy is it to kind of square that off to one side?
It definitely can be tough. It can be frustrating. You know, especially when you think you're playing well, and you don't get selected, but you know, that's the way it goes. So it's important just to, I think, for my own head, to keep staying positive, keep working hard, keep training really well, and like, you know, you just kind of hope you'll get the opportunity, and whenever you do get an opportunity, it's about really taking it. So yeah, it can be tough mentally, but I think staying positive and, you know, working as hard as you can, you know, doing extras, picking up extra skills and stuff like that. You know, it's really important to keep you know, a positive mindset.
And just the kind of last one for me, it was like, anytime there's a Munster game coming up, or anytime in recent years, you'll have the highlight show, you'll have that try, the famous try you scored against them at Thomand. You know, that kind of first breakout through the season, you were scoring so many amazing tries. How did you find the teams change then to kind of try and bottle you up in that maybe second season where they had a bit more footage on you? And then how did you kind of react to that yourself as a player?
Yeah, I suppose anytime someone kind of breaks onto the scene, you don't really know how they're going to play. Like, so maybe they don't mark you as hard, or they don't talk about you as much. And then once they get to know you more, you kind of learn what they like to do as players, what their traits are, so you can kind of defend them, or try to defend them better. So yeah, it can be tough. Like you see it all the time, players breaking through and no one really knows about them, and then their second season, you know, you kind of find out a bit more about them, so you can defend them better. So yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a few more of those tries under my belt.
Perfect. Okay, listen, all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Cheers.
Jordan, it's Don here. There's been a shift from the Jonah Lomo type winger to the smaller, nimble player like Josh Adams and Colby, like Mac Hansen, and now the Italian Capuzzi, who's called a whippet. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, it's probably not just one thing, you know. I suppose it could just be the way the game's going at the moment. You know, you look at the likes of Colby, who was ripping it up in the World Cup, and then kind of everyone's talking about him, and they're looking for wingers like that. You know, he's amazing feet, very powerful, very strong, you know, very quick. So I can't really put my finger on it, like, why that's happening. But as well, like, whoever's playing the best rugby is going to be getting picked. So, you know, you could have someone who's a massive winger and then who's not playing great, and then a really small winger who's playing really well. So you're going to pick the really small winger. So I can't really put my finger on why it's happening at the moment. But you know, it's just whoever's the form winger, whoever's playing the best is going to get picked. So those players are obviously playing the best.
Yeah, finally for me, did you ever attend a summer camp at school in St Andrews?
I didn't do any of the Leinster ones. We were actually running around with the kids earlier. It was a bit of crack. I would have loved to do them back when I was in Andrews. So I didn't do those camps. I think I did the Brian O'Driscoll rugby camp, which was very good, but I never did the Leinster schools ones. But it looked like great crack. I would have loved to do one.
Thanks, Jordan.
Cheers.
Okay, guys, that's us for today. Thanks a million for. Jerry, were you trying to jump in with one last question?
Gan.
Jerry, you there? Do you want one last very quick question?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Jordan, you were saying there, in relation to the tour to New Zealand, how that's kind of your focus at the moment. So I'm just wondering, in terms of, when hopefully you get down there and you play, how much of an incentive is it sort of to get down there, a year out from the World Cup, and in terms of your rehabilitation?
Well, at the moment my focus is on getting back playing for Leinster and getting picked and playing in those big European games coming up, and then obviously the tour to South Africa. But I know the tour to New Zealand's at the end of the season. That's in the back of my head, and it'll be a really cool place to go. But for me at the moment, all my focus is on just getting back fit and playing well for Leinster.